Hello friends and welcome to Let's Play Elements. I'm your host MagicManMo. Today's video, full disclosure, is a sponsored video, and information about that as well as a link to where you can find this game are in the description down below. This is a game that's played out of your browser, and it's a twist or a variation thereof on, not so much twist, more like a variation. We can argue over which word is best later. Over like those sort of real estate type browser games that were kind of popular for a little bit forever ago. Maybe they still are. Maybe I just don't play them so much anymore. And by real estate, I mean it's those types of games where you in the real estate ones, you have a bunch of houses on a map or whatever, and when their prices are really low, you buy them, you wait until their prices go up, and you sell them, and they're all happening at once, and you sort of have to manage and keep track of what you own and sell everything at the highest you possibly can, buy it at the lowest you possibly can to make the most money possible. This variation, instead of real estate and houses, plays off of being different elements, but they're not necessarily real elements. You'll see what that is here in just a second. It's sort of a bare bones type game. It's like a beat your high score sort of thing. This is just the main menu screen. What we have here is a seed generator, 0 to 999. I've just hit random. We've got speeds from slow to normal to fast to linear. Linear means it increases in speed as you go from tick to tick. You'll see what that means here in a moment. I'm just going to start it on normal, just so that I can kind of talk about it while I'm also playing it. I'm not trying to bust any major high scores here or show off or anything like that. I'm not very good at it anyway. There's core and there's advanced. We're going to start on core on this episode, and then we'll show you advanced that has a couple extra rules. And then there's a menu with some instructions on how to play, but I'm going to explain that to you in a minute. Scoring is a little confusing to keep track of in the middle of the game. You just basically have to rely on the game not cheating you. I mean, the game knows what its scoring system is, so it's a little confusing to explain, but it's not so bad. High scores keeps track of your own high scores. Options shows you this stuff. It's got an automatically fit to grid, enable sounds, enable music. There's a hints thing that kind of shows you sort of the optimal way to do it, but it disables your high score, so of course you can't just get the maximum score that way. And then there's an about, which is this is the about. Anyway, without much further ado, let's actually I'm curious. Give me just a second, I'll be right back. Okay, I was just checking out the the automatically fit to grid. I wanted to go check and see what happened if I turn that off, because I wasn't sure, but it creates a scroll wheel. It's annoying. You really want to make sure that's turned on, and it's on by default, so that's not a problem at all. So we're going to play some core. We're going to hit start. This is what the game looks like. It's kind of like a periodic table, and what we're looking for, ideally, are these 0-ups, because they cost us 0. The number is how much it costs us, and the direction up or down tells you if it's going to increase or decrease on the next tick. This is the number of ticks we're on, so you start with 30 ticks and it works its way down all the way to 0, and once it hits 0, the game's over, and you have to try to have everything sold by then, pretty much. And every box goes up or down by 200,000 every tick. Up if it says up, down if it says down. And you buy it for the price that it lists it at, and it sells it for 5 times the amount it says it at. But you can't just buy and sell in the same thing and rack up infinite points. If you buy it on one tick, you have to sell it on the next tick for it to count for any points. There is a variation on that. If you play advanced, oh, that's going down, I missed it. There's a variation on that if you play in advance, that if you buy and sell on the same tick, you can save it at the current price, and that's important because if you sell things at 3 things of the same price at the same time, you sort of get a bonus. And of course, I'm trying to talk over this, so I'm not playing the best I possibly can right now because I'm talking over it. Because it requires a deal of concentration to sort of look around and see what is going on at the same time. Also, in the advanced setting, you can eliminate tiles from the game altogether. You can't do that in the core game. The core game is just like one of those real estate games that I was talking about, where it's you buy low and you sell high, and you try to maximize your high score. We're not doing great. We almost have 100 million. points. Now these aren't all real elements, as you can probably. Whoops! I need to get rid of those. How long have I been holding on to those? Those lost me quite a bit of points. Quite a bit of points. Here, we're gonna sell all this stuff and start over for a sec, and just kind of pay attention to what I have going on here. We've got a bunch of 0-ups. 0-ups are the best, because that gives you the most. Because even if you don't sell it, if it ticks over and you're in the green, if it's making you profit, you still earn points. So in that sense, it's very much so more about points and less about money. It's not like one of those real estate games where you're trying to make the most money. It's more like a point high score system, kind of like an arcade style situation we have. Got a bunch of millionaires here. We got 10 ticks left. So I'm gonna wind down from buying too much new stuff. The one thing I would suggest including in this game actually is... Oops, I don't know why I'm selling those right now. I need to hang on to that for one more tick. Oh well. I need to sell that though. Now I can sell. There we go. You want to sell when it says 1,000,000 down, because 1,000,000 is the highest score it'll get up to, and when it says down, it means it's going to go down next tick, so you want to sell it at its highest, which should make loads of sense. The one thing I would suggest adding to this actually is a little timer like off to the side that shows you how much time you have left in your tick before it ticks over, right? Because we have it on normal, which I think is like, it's a long time. It's like 12 seconds or something. Like, maybe that's on slow. Maybe slow is 12 seconds. It gives you a lot of time on normal. But if you're not really paying attention, you can't tell how much time you have left. I'm going to buy some of these 0-ups because they cost me nothing. Oh wait, I think it's over right after. Yeah, it's over right after this. All right, and then we got 250 million points. We got 259,400,000 points, and that's the game. That's basically the game. But like I said, these aren't actually necessarily all real elements. If I just click off the screen, you can tell, where was it? There's redstone from like Minecraft here, and there's some other stuff in here, and I don't know if they're all references to different games or something. There's an element 99. There's adamant, adamantium. So like that's kind of neat. Mithril. There's mithril over here. So I think this is kind of a neat idea with the different elements, and there's a different take on their real estate game. It's just a very simplistic score-based looking thing. Very simple, very basic setup here, UI sort of thing. And that was 259. That's my high score on whatever number this is. It said random. I don't think random might not do random seed. It might just literally randomize the possibility. But if I go to 1, I've played a little bit on 1. 1 has I can't oh, hang on. Stop for a sec. We're going to do fast because we're going to just blaze through this so that I can show you my high scores on 1. Basically, and I'm not very good at fast, so I probably won't get a high score here. I'm not very quick at looking for stuff, and again, this is the core game. Advanced has a couple extra rules, and I'll show you guys that next time. It's free and it's in your... Oops, I don't want to buy that. It's free and it's in your browser. It takes nothing. There's a 0-up. Oh, we've almost got 1,000,000 down on several... Oh, there's one right there that I missed. Okay, I want to make sure I have everything sold that needs to sell. I'm looking at my stuff. There we go. Basically, I bought a bunch of stuff really cheap. Now I'm selling it off as best as I can. Now, the one thing I don't think changes is that... Oh, these need to go. They're on 0 down. I missed that. That was bad. We have a bunch of 0-ups, though. That's good. That's good. That's very good. What I would like to see is that if you play on faster speeds, if you get a bonus multiplier. So, clearly, it's more difficult to play on a higher speed, but I don't think the score adjusts for that. So, if you want to earn a really high score, basically, you want to play on slow because it gives you the most time to earn up the most points. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think playing on a faster speed gives you any multiplier to sort of leverage that risk reward, because it's risky to play at such a high speed because it's going to be harder for you to rack up a score but you're not really rewarded for playing at that risk. But yeah, I could totally see this game becoming a little more complex, maybe a little more graphically complex with some additional little things here and there. I don't know what else you could do with the graphics. Just something that looks a little less like squares, but you know, you can play with that idea. The basic mechanics are already set up here, and if you're into playing for high scores and that sort of thing, I need to sell that because it's going down now. Oh, it's going down. It's going timber. Is anything going down? No, everything's still going up. That needs to sell. Buy that up. Excellent. Lots of points here. I think we actually are going to maybe... we only have one tick left, so we'll sell that. It's not worth buying any. I think we beat our high score on fast. What's it? Oh yeah, it has different high score sections for fast. That's right. Because okay, so like I was saying, it doesn't give you a multiplier for playing on fast, but it has separate high scores for normal and fast and slow and whatever. Because my high score on normal speed is like 500 something million, I think. On Seed 1. On Seed 1, my high score is like 500 million on normal speed. But on fast speed, I haven't played Seed 1 on fast speed before, and that's 230 million is my high score there. Alright, so that's all the time I have for this episode. This one was a lot of explaining the game. We're going to play some advanced next time, so you see what those mechanics are. And if this is something that, I mean, you know, kind of like one of those games that you might play if you're like, you know, like solitaire or something, where it's like you're just kind of wasting some time, you pull this up or whatever. Very basic. It's easy to look at. You just have to get used to looking for numbers if you're into that sort of thing, if you're into breaking your high score. I will leave, of course, a link to where you can find this in the description down below. But whatever you guys do, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!